Sponsored by Squarespace. The horror genre reflects our societal fear, be it the erosion of faith or the commodification of race. The most powerful films often tap into cultural anxieties. But culture is local. When watching foreign horror films like those from Japan, we don't always get the full picture. What collective memory do these films draw from? What fears do these stories reflect? That may be why our Patreon supporters collectively voted for today's video topic. Today, let's take a look at 4 J-horror films based on Japanese urban legends, 2 from the early 2000s and 2 from the past few years. Beware of sensitive topics ahead. Sit back and let's take a look at these movies and explore the social anxiety that created them. The Locker, known as Shibuya Kaidan in Japanese, is a 2004 low-budget horror film released during the J-horror craze. Despite its modest budget, this is an ambitious project filmed on location, in the busy streets of Shibuya. The realism is appropriate as it is one of the only J-horror films of the era to be inspired by actual events. The film begins with a group of college students in the middle of a camping trip. It was a fun night of drinking, flirting, and sharing ghost stories. From the start, the film establishes them as individuals with loose morals, engaging in casual sex and possibly drug use. For 2004 Japan, that was pretty spicy. But on the return the next morning, things begin to go south, as the friends start to die off one by one. To save herself and the others, our protagonist Reika must uncover the source of the curse. Luckily for us, the English title already spoiled the answer. Indeed, the curse came from a coin locker in Shibuya, specifically a locker that once held the corpse of a baby. This is the actual event. You see, throughout Tokyo are coin lockers, and between the 70s and the 90s, there were many cases of people abandoning their babies inside. The 80s saw almost 200 such cases, and things were reportedly much worse in the 70s. Coin locker babies is a national trauma, appearing in pop culture media such as Yakuza Like a Dragon and this movie. It's often said that the parents were hoping someone would find and help the babies. The reality, however, is much more grim. Most of the time, the babies were already dead or left there to die. The lockers were means of corpse disposal. Shocking, right? What monster would do this? Was it the result of casual sex? Teen pregnancy, maybe? It's an accusation the film entertained at first. It's no coincidence that our characters are youngsters with a liberal view on relationship. It is as if they are being punished for their promiscuity. But as the film continues, we see another side. Reika turns out to be a kind and caring friend. In Japan, abortion is widely accepted, so anyone who carried a baby to term only to abandon them must have deeper reasons. And reasons there were many. Perhaps the mother was abandoned by her partner, perhaps she recently escaped from abuse, or she could be a victim of sexual assault. Poverty is also a key factor. In the 1970s, stable work for women was hard to come by. They may not have the means to support a child. Welfare is difficult to attain and heavily stigmatized in Japan. Being a single mother also carries heavy social shame. In a conservative society, that shame may make you unemployable or even cause your family to cut ties. It's a problem that keeps creating more problems. Reflecting this truth, in the final act, the film reveals that, indeed, the mother was a victim of abuse. It was a tragedy caused by the lack of social support for both the mother and child. Since the 2000s, with increased awareness, access to contraception, and baby hatches, these cases have thankfully become rare. Journalist Sugiyama Haru, however, argues that the tragedy has merely changed form. As she explains, the factor that created coin locker babies are still in place, and is the reason why pregnant women are 3 times more likely to die by suicide than from illness or disease. Ultimately, this is an issue deeply rooted in Japanese social structure, with no easy solutions. Appropriately, the story of the film is also incomplete. It continues into the sequel, which also ends without a conclusion. This is one story that's still ongoing. As one would expect, there are many scholarly sources on niche Japanese urban legends. So for this video, we turn to enthusiast blogs. And let me tell you, they are a joy to read. The rich passion in these writings cannot be easily replicated by short social media posts or even short form videos. That's why, if you have a passion to share, you should build a website with Squarespace. With Squarespace, making a website is easy. Start from scratch or pick a template, you are guided every step of the way. You can write as much as you want, post as many pictures as you need, or attach videos, or even start a store. The sky is the limit. That's why blogs are so fun to read. They have personalities. In today's internet, that's hard to come by. That's why you should visit squarespace.com/accidentalcinema to start your free trial. Use the code accidentalcinema and you can get 10% off your first purchase. If you have a hobby, a band, or a business, you should show it off with a website. Visit squarespace.com/accidentalcinema and get started today. Up next, Carved, Slit-Mouthed Woman, released in 2007. The story of the slit-mouthed woman dates back to the 17th century. Supposedly, this vengeful spirit would approach you and ask you if she's beautiful. If you say yes, she'll cut open your face with scissors to make you look like her. It is a story famous even outside of Japan. Instead of retelling this, however, the film reimagines her. Kyoko is a schoolteacher and a divorcee who, due to her anger issue, has lost custody of her daughter. At school, she meets Mika, a student who's been physically abused by her own mother. Kyoko, projecting her own pain, angrily insists Mika's mother must love her. Mika runs off and is suddenly kidnapped by the slit-mouthed woman. From there, the spirit possesses different women, kidnaps the children, and kills them. Kyoko must rescue Mika before it is too late. I'm not going to mince words here. This movie sucks. Its cinematography is poor, the acting is awful, and it's unintentionally funny at times. And yet, it has a strong atmosphere. It feels secretive, like seeing the scar behind a mask. It's appropriate because, as you may have noticed, the slit-mouthed woman has been changed into a metaphor for child abuse. Throughout the film, the curse only affects single mothers, as if she embodies the repressed, abusive anger. In real life, most child abductions are committed by parents. This is especially the case in Japan, as Japan does not recognize joint custody. In the majority of cases, only one parent, usually the one the child already lives with, gets sole custody. That's why Japanese lawyers often tell the clients to kidnap their children before the divorce is finalized in order to secure legal custody. Afterward, at the custodian's discretion, the other parents may never see the child again. Parental abductions of children is often not taken seriously by law enforcement either. It can be a helpless situation. This is the world in which Carved was made. It is why Kyoko is a divorcee without custody. We see that Kyoko wants to reconnect with her daughter, and yet her anger remains uncontrollable. Her love and her abusiveness coexist. The same is true for other mothers, including Mika's abusive mom.
私がちゃんとしてればミカは まっすぐ家に帰ってきたのに。
Instead of painting the parents as monsters, the film shows the monster within them. It's a unique view on an often black and white topic, and I find that to be quite interesting. That said, the film never fully commits to this idea. It doesn't explore the topic any further. It's a bit half-baked. Thankfully, joint custody will become law in Japan in 2026. Hopefully, this particular anxiety can be laid to rest soon. Howling Village, or Inunaki Village in Japanese, is a 2019 horror movie directed by Takeshi Shimizu, creator of the Ju-On films. The movie is based on a mythical village set to lie beyond the real-life Inunaki Tunnel. At its entrance, a sign supposedly says, "The Constitution of Japan does not apply beyond this point." All sorts of stories were told about this place. One tells of a villager who kills anyone trying to leave. Another tells of a man who shot his dog for barking, unaware it was warning him of an incoming killer. Howling Village took these existing stories and weaves it into a single narrative. In the film, a couple searches for the Inunaki village and becomes haunted by the ghosts of the villagers. Shortly after returning, the girl took her own life, and the boy disappeared into the Inunaki tunnel. To save her brother, our protagonist Kanade begins a search for the truth, as the villagers claim more and more lives. It's a simple plot that may not entertain everyone. Most of the film focuses on horror deaths, which, to Shimizu's credit, are very creative. In my opinion, however, there's a much bigger problem with this movie. You see, this is the Japanese version of hillbilly horror, a genre that depicts rural people as inbred savages, cruel beyond the bounds of civilized society. Hence, the Constitution does not apply. It's a tired old trope seen in films like Noroi and pretty much every Fatal Frame game. The tales of Inunaki Village became popular in 1999, around the same time online forums like 2chan took off. With Japan's declining rural communities, online exchanges are, understandably, dominated by urban youths. This made rural people the outgroup and thus the target of prejudice. So, in these internet stories, country folks become less than human. They become things for entertainment. Howling Village, unfortunately, embraces this toxic trope. In the film, the villagers kill wild dogs for a living. Sure, the film tries to make them the victims, showing that the villagers were exploited and killed by outsiders. But then the movie pivots again, revealing the villagers to be werewolves? I guess they're Inugami. Either way, yes, the villagers are the monsters. Following the release of this film, the real-life Inunaki Tunnel became a hotspot for brain-rot tourists to gawk at nearby villagers. They make a scene in the tunnels, leaving all sorts of garbage behind. In the 3 months following the premiere of Howling Village, police made 182 interventions. The film had brought serious trouble for the people who actually live in that area. These are people, not animals. Just leave them the f*** alone. Before we wrap up, let's end with something lighthearted. Kisaragi Station is a 2022 horror film based on a 2chan creepypasta. Yup. Back in 2004, a user named Hasumi made a post, claiming that her train had dropped her off at a station that didn't exist, Kisaragi Station. Speculation from other users abound. Many suspected that she had entered an alternate world. Others thought she was in a different station called Sakinomiya. The story became a pop culture phenomenon. After Hasumi stopped posting, others would come forward claiming they had been to Kisaragi Station too. Even the railway company got in on it and made websites advertising Sakinomiya Station as the inspiration of the urban legend. The film follows Haruna, a college student investigating the case of Kisaragi Station. She interviews a woman who claims to have returned from the station. From her perspective, we see a delightfully corny retelling of the original creepypasta. I won't spoil any more of the film, as I think the film is genuinely worth watching. It has a strong liminal vibe, but also very playful. It's a story you have to enjoy with a particular mindset. As this haunted house music plays, the movie pretends to scare you, and you have to pretend to be scared. That's the charm of Kisaragi Station. It is a collective performance. When Hasumi made her updates, the internet played along. And when she stopped posting, others continued the story. It's a game where everyone is in control. The result is campy and cliché, filled with familiar elements that bring comfort. It's pretend horror. Instead of reflecting people's anxiety, it eases it. Depending on your perspective, this movie can be good or bad, but it most definitely captures the spirit and the jank of 2chan creepypasta. I guess the lesson here is, the real horror was the friends we made along the way.